Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tier Above the Rest. Today, we're going to be doing a tier list on Borussia Dortmund, and let's get it started. Obviously, they didn't win any trophy. Let's be honest. They got destroyed by FC Barcelona in the Champions League round of 16 or quarterfinals, one of those two things. Down year from them, from making it to the UCL finals the year before. But yeah, let's rate them on how their players did this season. So starting with Emre Can. He's gonna get an 8 for me. Solid midfielder, does his job. He's been very underrated over the many years he's been playing, but I think he's a very solid player still. So we're gonna give him an A for that. At the end, he's gonna get a B. I don't think he's living up to his potential. His move to Dortmund was to obviously develop his into the player that he wants to become. He's a big potential, a lot of pace on the wings, up the middle. But it looks like, he's not developing like that player that we all thought he was going to. So this was a down year for him for sure. So we're going to give him a B on that. Who is this? Is this Brandt? Julian Brandt? We're going to give him a B. I don't even think that's Julian Brandt, is it? Yeah, it's Julian Brandt. Give him a B. He's been there for like 10 years now. Before, people used to hype him up as like one of those young players that's going to be good. But he's just another squad player. We're going to give him a B. Move it along. Who is this? I forgot this guy's name. Oh, Sula. There we go. We'll give him a B. Solid defender. I think he put on a little bit of weight for personal reasons we're not going to get into. But he's a solid center back. We'll give him a B. Good comeback for him. So, respects there. I forgot what this guy's name is. We're going to give you a C. You probably just played your role. This guy is not 18 or whatever they claim he is. I haven't seen him play ever, so he's going to be a C. Kobel's going to get an S for me. I think one of the big things about Dortmund is their goalkeepers, and having a good goalkeeper like Kobel, it helps you, stay up in the Farmers League race, So a goalkeeper like him, obviously helped them perform really well throughout the season, so he gets an S for that. So Bitzer's going to get a C. I don't think he's been the same player ever since leaving Leipzig. He's had spells at Bayern. He has spells at Man United. He's just not the same player. He's just, just a worse version of Emre Can. So he gets a C for that. I forget what this guy's name is. We're going to give you an F. Schlotterbeck, you're going to get an S. I think one of the best center backs in the world. Just very underrated. He's a left-footed center back, ball playing, tall, very good aerial threat. So I think he's very underrated and looked over, and there's not many players like him. There's players like Bastoni maybe that fit his profile, but he's someone that I feel like if Bayern, why do I keep saying Bayern? See, this is why there's only two teams in this league, right? Dortmund, if Dortmund really wanted to get rid of him, they would get a serious fee for him. So expect him to move on in a year or so, because there's going to be teams that really want him, and he's not getting any younger. So we're going to see a move from him. Malin's going to get an A. I think he's been a really solid striker for them. Obviously, he's pushing in age as well, and he doesn't have the same pace as he did in his younger years. But he gets an A. Does his job. I don't know who this is. We're gonna give you an F. I don't know who that is either. We're gonna give you an F. This guy, I forgot his name. You're gonna give you a C. You're a solid role player. You could do your thing. Gio Reyna, we're gonna give you a C. You also had like huge potential, as one of those Americans that that can help elevate the game. You're at Dortmund at such a young age. Everybody had big expectations for you, but I can't lie. No one has even heard your name being said in the last, I don't know how many years, and especially this season. You were not even coming off the bench. You were just stuck on the bench for a majority of it. Big games, your name was never there. And whenever you did show up, you did nothing. So honestly, C is being a little generous at times. You might be an F. But for this season, we'll give you a C. This guy, I don't know who he is. This guy, I don't know who he is. I forgot what this guy's name is, but I'm going to give him a B. He's a solid player. I've seen him play here and there, and he was getting cooked the time I saw him play against Lamine Yamal. But I think in general, in the league, he's been pretty well. He's been pretty good player for them to have. He's like an Emre Can in a way. Solid, reliable, when things are going wrong, just put him in. Things will be sorted. This guy, no one knows who he is. This guy, no one knows who he is. Gittins, we're going to give him an A. He's linked to a move to, I believe, Chelsea. Chelsea need another, few wingers, right? 15 of them are not enough. But he's a solid English winger. Player like him, he's young. He's the one who's actually developed better than a guy like Adeyemi. So it's always nice to see when Dortmund starts pushing out these players. Solid winger, pacey, does his thing. I mean, there's nothing you can hate on that. So for that reason, he gets an A. Um, no one knows who you are. These backup keepers don't play. No one knows who you are as well. This might be the manager. Who knows? And what's this guy's name? Oh, Guressi or whatever his name is. He gets an S. We saw what he did in the Champions League this year. I think he was like top scorer or joint top scorer at a certain point, and he just kept scoring goals and goals and goals and goals for fun. He killed it in the league itself. He killed it in the Champions League. Underrated, honestly, very underrated. I don't think people knew who this guy was before. I barely knew him. I knew of him, but I didn't really know his game. And I think he proved a lot of people wrong. So someone to look out for sure for the next maybe year or so. If a team needs a striker, needs some sort of guy that come off the bench, provide some goals, he might be that guy. So that's going to do it for the Dortmund tier list for the 2024-2025 season. Let me know what teams you want me to do next. It could be a different team, it could be a different sport, whatever it may be. Just drop it down in the comments, like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.